Welcome to a demo of Vroozi Procure-to-Pay, streamlining procurement and AP automation.
I want to show you Vroozi Procure-to-Pay. We're starting here with this employee who needs to buy something, right? So what they're going to do when they log in is put at the top here exactly what they're looking for, put the 5W30 and hit enter. This is drawing on their online shopping skills and internet search skills. Point of that, it's really no training. They recognize that they're going to search, find things, and enter that into the cart, and it shows up at the top. Okay. But the difference here is what they're looking at is your preferred, approved, and contracted suppliers. Okay, we put this in here so they stay true to your discounts and contracted pricing. So if they need that, they stick with your agreements. Okay. Second thing I'll put in there is like a tool. So something like this with specifications, they can use the filters to go from 653 results to something that they need. So they need the battery capacity is important to them, chuck size. Okay, they can do a few others, but you can see how quickly we get to the relevant search items, and they can make a decision there, which one they're looking for, and add that to the cart. Okay. So the user needed those two things. So they compiled it in the shopping cart, but we moved that to a purchase request because this is where we understand the rules that the company wants to follow. Okay, there's going to be reviews and approvals that we want to go through. Okay, reviews based on maybe category and supplier and things like that, and approvals based on financials. Well, also, if there's a budget problem, as you're just looking here in the middle, if there's a budget issue, we're going to take too much of the budget at one time or consume the whole budget. We'll get those folks involved in approve or reject decision too. Okay, so we'll line all that up, and then we put the two items that the person is looking for, and we categorize the spend for them so you could track it. But underneath here, one click away, this is the accounting and the organizational objects we put in place for this user. Okay, they don't have to do that, nor do they know that in many cases, so we do that for them. Okay, those that want to go in and change can certainly do that, make the adjustments. But for many users, they don't know that information, so they're simply happy to say, I just need these two things, and then move that forward. Okay, so a lot of data is moving forward with this transaction. Okay, so not only the accounting, which is going to help us close the books early, not only the spend classifications, that's going to help us track spend, okay, but also all that data, so we can do a lot of tracking. So that purchase request 5829 is now in financial review. Okay, so what we've done there is we put that in the hands of the, let's go back to the inbox. We put that in the hands of the approver as an email. So they can make a quick decision. Oh, that's a Gmail thing, so we'll open that up. They can make a quick decision, approve or reject right from this email. Okay, so we asked for this because emails can be forwarded. Okay, that does confirm we have the right person. So now when we go back to our purchase request 5829, we've satisfied all the reviews and approvals. So now it's in a new status approved. Okay, but even better, two purchase orders auto PO. That means automatically generated. We had all the information we needed to create it. Okay, we also use preferred, approved, and contracted suppliers. Okay, so no problem there. And now we put it into the hands of the supplier in the format that they're able to receive it. Okay, that might mean email for some, but we're going to try and connect as many suppliers as we can. So that could be more integrated methods such as CXML, EDI, and our supplier portal. Okay, you're seeing one in ordered status, one in processing. We do look for a technical acknowledgement that the orders have gone out. So as soon as we get that, that'll be an ordered status. Okay, and that's what the user is going to check here. Okay, they're going to go in their purchase orders, and these things are super important to them. So they're going to look for things like ordered, confirmed, received, and disputed. Okay, if there's a dispute, there's a problem. Confirmed means we're good to go. So we're going to look for those things, and that's part of the communication with the supplier that we'll capture here. The other thing we're going to capture from suppliers are shipping notices. Okay, if they send those out, they let us know the tracking information so we can make sure it arrives on time. Okay, what I want to do for you now is let's fast forward to goods receipts. Okay, the day has come and these things have arrived. Okay, and what I'm going to do here with the drills, I'm going to go in and click this truck, and we're going to do a goods receipt. Okay, this can be done by the employee in this case, like I'm doing here, or it can be done like a central receiver or buyer, whoever does that function. Okay, but they simply receive it, confirm it, and now we have that document in the system. Okay, so we have two steps of a three-way match. We have an order and goods receipt. So now when that invoice comes in, we're ready to go and get that paid. Okay, so let's go there next. I want to take you to a supplier. Okay, the supplier is receiving the orders. In this case, this is our supplier portal, but a supplier can use their own system. Okay, so just want to make sure that that's clear. We're not going to force any supplier into a portal. This is just a document exchange that can be set up by the portal or through their own system. Okay, so what they've done in this case, they received this order. Okay, 43. I forgot what the order was. Sorry, let me go back and get that order number so we can track it. That was the Granger was 4330. Okay, so that's this one up here. Okay. So at the top of the page, 4330, they're seeing the statuses on their side. Again, I skipped a few steps here, but if there was a problem with that order, they could dispute it and communicate back to me what the issue is. Back ordered, I can't give you 10, but I can give you 5, and those kinds of things. Okay, so what we've done for this supplier here, we set up the invoice so they could just automatically invoice electronically. Okay, they're just flipping that purchase order to the invoice. Let me just put a couple things in there. Net 30 gets us there. And now we're submitting an electronic invoice. Okay. So recall what I've done here. I created an order, then we did the goods receipt, and then I did an invoice for the quantities all lined up. So we have a three-way match. Okay. So now when we go to the AP department and the invoice comes in, it's automatically now sent to be posted. Okay, so it's going to line up here. This is Amy, our AP processor. Okay, under posting invoices at the top is that invoice that just came in. Okay, it's in this status posting, meaning it's waiting for a connection to your payment system. Your payment system is going to come in and grab all these posting invoices because these are okay to pay. They've gone through your compliance, your rules, your approvals. In this case, they've gone through three-way match. So we've satisfied all the things that we wanted to. So that one's going to go get paid. Okay. So we want to get that as many times as possible for you. That is a straight through process. Okay, let's look at some other invoices. It's nice when they go straight through, but that's not always the case. I just want to show you a couple examples of PDF documents that come in. In this case, we have a PO invoice, so a PDF document to an email. Now, what our AI does for us here is it reads the words on the page and gives us the data that we're looking for. Okay, so if I go to the next step, it's reading invoice. So it looks for keywords like PO, date, tax, shipping, quantity, QTY when it is when they abbreviate things. So it looks for those words, and you can see on the left-hand side where it pulls the data for me. Okay, it presents it to me on the right-hand side with confidence levels. Blue is confident, 100% confident, and I agree it got that. Okay, this one's not blue, so let's take a look at it. Okay, it's confident it got the right data, which I agree it did, but based on net 30, the date should be this. Okay, so here's the supplier trying to get paid early. We're going to enforce our payment terms, so that means the date is July 9th. Okay, everything else is pulled over from the invoice here. Pulled over from the PO, excuse me. So it's all set up to approve and post in this case, and we'll get that paid. Okay, just using that another day. We'll just put that back, and let's go to now our non-PO invoice case. Okay, POs are great. We could just get the items and apply the accounting. So it's a real easier task, I should say, for the AP department when there's POs. So now in our non-PO case, which is this one right here, because we don't have a PO number, but it could be the case where the supplier said, just send it. I forgot the PO number or don't know it. So what we do here is a check at the top here. You see Kforce is relatively new. So we're looking at the history. Is it typically a non-PO supplier, or do we get POs? In this case, Kforce is new. We don't know that. It also looks at orders in the system that could potentially match this. Okay, we don't have that either, so it looks like a non-PO case. Okay, again, AI is going to do the work for us to read the words on the page, line up data over here, and as you'll see in just a second, again, they're trying to get paid early. But let's go down here. This is the difference. On non-PO invoices, we don't have the benefit of pulling the items off an order and applying the accounting. So this is usually a little bit more work for the AP department. So what we're going to do for you here, where there's 4 lines on the invoice, we want to give you 4 lines over here because we want you to track the spend. We want to know what you're spending on products and services. So we're going to tell you what was on that invoice. We're going to line it up over here, and then we're going to code that. This is coded based on history. And you can see some of the history here. And business administration was used because it's more prevalent. Okay, so in this particular case on a non-PO invoice, we've done the work to get the items, code it, and now we'll submit that for an approval process because this has not been approved before. Okay. So that's the quick look at the procurement side and the invoice side. So our full procure to pay and the different individuals that make it possible for straight through processing to happen. But when people do have to touch the process, we'll make that as quick as possible. Thank you.